Hello, and welcome to episode number 42 of the Rabe Creations Crochet and Cross Stitch podcast. My name's Nicole, and I'm coming to you from Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, where I live with my husband Barry and my wonderful rescued Rottweiler named Grace. Thank you, everyone who is a returning viewer. It means the world to me that you come back and listen to me ramble week after week. And to all my new subscribers, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're somebody who is stumbling across this for the first time and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and that way we can get together on a regular basis. So, what have I got to share today? Tons. Lots and lots. So as usual, we are going to start out with some crochet news. We will then move into some cross stitch, followed by a bit of a shop update. And then we will conclude with the giveaways for the week. As always, in your comments below, if you are interested in the giveaway, please make sure you're not mentioning the word giveaway. But we'll get more into the rules of the giveaway later on in the podcast. All right, here we go. So jumping right into things with a bit of crochet. I have been busy on the crochet front, and I am happy to say that my buffalo plaid wrap is now complete. So as you see it is exactly how I plan to be marketing it at the upcoming craft fairs this fall. So just wound up nicely, tied with a ribbon. I have tons of this ribbon in my stash, so I'll be able to tie them all with a ribbon. I expect I'll be able to have one of them unwound near the front of the display so people can take a look and see what they are. But I like the idea of having them all nicely bundled up like this. So this one is obviously the black, red, and burgundy buffalo check. I am also planning to do some in gray tones as well. So let me untie this and I will show you what I have done. So this is the buffalo check wrap. Now, I did put a border around the entire outside, and I'll show you. Lengthwise, it is about 5'2" inches, 5'3" inches. It is done in the three colors, the red, the burgundy, and the black. And then it does have a border along the outside. Now, I had spoken before about my intent to do the border sort of as a ribbed border, which this is. I'm not sure how well that's showing up on camera, but it is a 2x1 crochet ribbed border with three, and that's a double crochet. And then there are 3 half double crochets in each corner to round those corners very nicely. And I'm very pleased with how nicely those corners rounded. Now this is just front post, back post. So it is a front post to back, or 2 front posts followed by a back post, 2 front posts followed by a back post. So that's the 2x1 rib that I have achieved here. Now, I was hoping to be able to do the front back loop only back and forth rib along, and try as I might. I tried with different hook sizes. I tried with different lengths of ribbing. The ribbing was just getting very wavy, and it was giving it a look that I didn't want it to have. Now that wavy look might be cute on like a more delicate piece, but I didn't think that that would work well with this piece here. So looking at the buffalo plaid pattern that I've done, you might notice that it's a slight different pattern than some that you might see, which are just a repeat of 2 different rows. So the way that my buffalo check happened is it started with red and burgundy. The next line is black and red, then red and burgundy, then burgundy and black. So a lot of the buffalo check patterns I've seen has, it would just be a repeat of of the red, burgundy, black, red, red, burgundy, black, red. So it would be a repeat of those first 2 rows over and over and over again. And while that is a neat look, it's more of a gingham look. And I felt this, with the addition of the burgundy black row, gave it more of a buffalo plaid look, which is what I was going for. So you should probably see a few more of these as my market prep continues. And again, in different colors, but all sort of playing into that cozy cabin theme with the reds, the blacks, the grays, those types of color patterns for my fall and winter markets this year. So what else have I been doing with crochet? Well, for those of you who have been around for a while, you may recognize this yarn. It is a merino DK, and it is by a wonderful dyer named Leah, and her company is called Sheep Happens. She does have a web page obviously on the internet, a web page set up for her yarns. So she does not sell off of Etsy. She sells off her own web page. She does amazing, amazing colorways. Her yarn is wonderfully soft and squishy. Now, some of you may recognize this. I was working last year on a wrap. That was actually this green-blue color, because it is a green-blue variegated colorway, with this and then a yellowy-orange colorway combined. And I got about halfway through that wrap and decided, you know what, it just wasn't working for me. And life's too short to force yourself to work on projects that you're not enjoying. So yes, I did it. I frogged it all out and let the yarn tell me what it wanted to be. Now, I have been dealing with a bit of a deep freeze, which we are glad to say is completely over. Yay, thank goodness. So the deep freeze in Calgary is over, and we're back up to the between -5 and +5 on a daily basis. And it's wonderful. And even Grace is loving it. Her walks were a little tragic when it was -40 with the wind chill. Anyway, back to where I was at. So I have used this yarn and the inspiration of the horribly cold weather. And I have come up with a pattern for mittens. Now, I have tried crochet mittens in the past, and the thing that I didn't like about most crochet mitten patterns were the top. I found that most crochet mitten patterns were being worked from the cuff up, and it made for, in my opinion, really messy tops. I didn't like the top join on the hand. It was often really gappy, and it didn't look quite right. So walking the dog one morning, and I had a bit of an epiphany. And I thought, well, when you're making socks, because those of you who have been around for a while know I crochet socks. When you crochet socks, you can start from the toe up. So why not be able to start from the fingertip down and more or less create a sock and then change it up to create the gusset for the thumb, and then attach the thumb afterwards. So that is exactly what I did. So this first pair that I have completed, so I did my original prototype just using impeccable yarns just to figure out the structure. And then I went into the merino DK, and I am so pleased with how these turned out. I have written up the pattern for this, which I am calling the ladies sized mittens. I am now working with the help of my son's hand to create a guide for making a men's size as well. And I'd like to include both sizes in the pattern, as well as a guide on how to size them as you go to make them very bespoke for your own hands. So watch for that pattern coming up. And if you are as in love with this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn as I am, please, by all means, go check out Sheep Happens on the interwebs. Now, this colorway is called Hedra. I don't believe that this is still available in her shop, but she has amazing colorways, and the way she's dyeing is absolutely incredible. So just to give you a little bit more information on the yarn, this is 100% superwash merino. It's got 250 yards to 115 grams. It is amazing. Definitely check her out. All right, I'm going to pause here and be right back with moving into some cross stitch. All right, we'll see you then. Okay, so moving into some cross stitch to fill you in on what I've been working on this week. So I have been working on 3 projects for the most part this week, and then one special one that I'll show you at the end of the cross stitch roundup. So let me start out with this bag. So living in this bag is a pattern called Find the Witch Within, and I only have this very small little picture of the cross stitch completed. I did receive this as a gift from my son and daughter-in-law, from Justin and Laura, for Christmas. And here is how far I have gotten. Let me find something to put in behind there. Excuse me while I turn around for a moment. Aha, there we go. All right, so that will probably be better. So I have started with the lettering. And this is my first time ever working on Black Ada. I heard a lot of people, you know, really warning about working on Black Ada, and I actually am enjoying it quite a bit. Now, as I said, this is a kit, and the kit is from JuneBug and Darlin. They do have a presence on Etsy, but my son and daughter-in-law found this kit at one of our local yarn stores, actually. We don't necessarily have a local needlework store here, which is unfortunate. I do know of one that's far northwest Calgary. I don't even consider it part of Calgary. It is so far out. It would probably be a good, probably 2-hour round trip for me. So it would be a journey to get there. But this is the different floss colors. And I really like the floss card that they're using. It's actually an old library book loaning card, and I thought that was just amazing. So it came with all of the flosses. It came with the needle, so a typical kit. And you know, I'm quite enjoying this. It even came with the hoop to finish it in. Yeah, and you know what? The Black Ada, if you've never worked with it before, don't be afraid of it. It's not nearly as difficult as I thought. Just need to make sure you've got good lighting, which I suppose you should be doing anyway, right? So there's how far I've gotten on that. And I actually put 154 stitches into that project. So not a ton, but not too bad either. Pop that away and pull out the next project. So the next one I've been working on is another new start. Oh my goodness, it's a new start day today. And this one was a download from Etsy. So it's a PDF file. I'm trying to find the cover that I could actually show you. Here it is. And it is by the Witchy Stitcher. So again, if you've been around for a while and you've been watching me, I did show a completed finished cross stitch that I did. That was Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake, that one. That was also by the Witchy Stitcher. So she's actually a designer out of Canada. She's over in BC. And yeah, if you're into anything sort of a little bit occultish or, you know, Halloweenish, she's doing a sal right now, a stitch along called Chopping Mall, and it's really cute. Of course, all of you stitchers out there probably know about her, but you know, for the non-stitchers out there, go check it out. She may inspire you to pick up a needle and thread. Anyway, so this is the chart I'm working on. It's called Happy Halloween, and it's a vintage inspired piece. And yeah, so these just come as a PDF pattern download. Now this pattern is charted in DMC, and it does include some of the DMC etoile, so the sparkly stuff, not the Kryneck, but the etoile, and I really, really like it. So let me show you where I've gotten, and I kind of got carried away with this one night, and I just couldn't put it down. So I am working this piece on 18 count oatmeal colored Aida. And that's where I've gotten so far. So I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up well, but you can see the etoile in the ear and around the eye, and the orange. Part of the orange stitching is sparkly. And I got 862 stitches into this piece. I really like this. This vintage look is right up my street. So I will be continuing to work on that, and I am sure you will see it many times before I am finished. I really like 18 count Aida. It is probably my favorite fabric so far to work on. Oh, sorry for the crinkling. All right, so I'm going to put that one away, and then I have one more cross stitch project to show you that I have been working on this week, and it is my autumn tree. So you've seen this before. And I've made some good progress on it. So again, this is a Barbara Ann Designs, and it is being worked on 28 count linen. And the linen was dyed by, hand dyed by Rolanda. So it's not got a specific colorway. All of her things are one of a kinds, for the most part, from what I can tell. And there is the picture of the completed chart. So really cute and whimsical. And let me show you where I'm at. So as I work more and more with the linen, I'm liking it more and more, but it's still not going to be my favorite. It is quite fiddly, and I'm just struggling with the difference in sizing of some of the threads, which make the stitches themselves feel like you're stitching different sizes of crosses, although you're really not, and it all works out in the end, but it's a challenge for me. Now there are a few mistakes on here. I'm finding that the counting of this is much more difficult than counting on Aida, obviously, because it's not got those open little holes where you can count each little box. But so far, oh, excuse me. And I'm back. Oops, that was just an alarm going off on my computer. No big deal. All right, but so far I am finding that it is working out quite nicely. Yeah, I'm really loving this pattern. I would like to try some of the other even weave type fabrics and see if there's something that I prefer to stitch on rather than the true linen. But I will persevere and I will get through this piece because I really, really like this design. I am really enjoying Barbara Ann Designs. This will not be the last one of hers that I stitch. Alrighty, so those are the cross stitch projects that I have been working on, with the exception of one more. So today is the day that I get to show you my very first cross stitch pattern design. Hooray! It should be going live on my Etsy shop before this weekend, so either between now and Friday. I'm just finishing up on the last pages of the pattern. It's a little bit different to do these patterns up than the crochet patterns that I do. I am using a program that I have purchased called WinStitch, and it's been a bit of a learning curve. So between that and Word, where I'm making the instructional documents, I will have all of the PDFs ready to be downloaded by Friday. So if you are interested in checking out my very first cross stitch pattern, please, please, please go on over to Etsy and take a look. And here it is. Are you ready? And it is a fully finished piece. So I fully finished this yesterday. The cross stitch pattern itself, of course, is on this side. And then I finished it with some ribbon and some buttons, just stuff that I had around that I thought worked well. It is mounted on sticky board, and then it has a fabric fabric covering some cardboard underneath it to give it a little bit of depth. But this is it. So it is a quick stitch. It's not a big one. It has my little crow on it because Rabe Creations, Rabe stands for the raven or the crow. So, you know, that crow's got to be on there. But this is it. And it is my Valentine's offering. It's only 3 colors. It's all charted in DMC, but obviously you could substitute. I think that this would look really good if these 2 hearts were done in a variegated floss to give it some variegation, obviously. But that's it. My very first cross stitch design. All right. So that leads me very nicely into a little bit of a shop update. So I'm going to pause here for one moment and I'll be right back with a couple of brand new project bags. All right. So those of you who are new here will, need to know that I have an Etsy shop. My Etsy shop has really sort of grown and changed over the years that I've had it. And what started out as my platform for selling finished objects has now become much more focused on the tools needed for the crafts. I'm sort of reserving my sale of finished objects to my in-person markets. And I'll be concentrating a lot more on my own designs in those markets. And then having my patterns, my tools. So the patterns, the project bags, that sort of thing is going to be more what's available on my Etsy page. So without any further ado, obviously there is going to be the new cross stitch pattern that is going to be going up on Etsy by this weekend. The my cowl that I released a couple of weeks ago now is up and live, and thank you to everyone who has purchased my cowl. You made it possible for me to purchase the program to be able to put out professional cross-stitch patterns. So thank you so much. Both through Etsy and through Ravelry for the crochet patterns. The one thing that I would ask anybody to do, one of the ways that you can support us designers, especially in the crochet world, but in the cross-stitch world as well. But for crochet, if you're purchasing the patterns, if you're creating the item that you've made, please, please, please post and link your makes. So if you are on Ravelry, by all means, create a page and share that page with the pattern. So share your pattern or share your make with the pattern page. When people are looking at patterns to buy on Ravelry, they can see how many projects have already been created. And often a pattern that has a lot of people already have made it will feel a little bit more tempting. I don't even think that's the word, but people are more likely to buy something that other people have already made. So linking your finished project to that pattern page on Ravelry is incredible. But even just looking at the patterns on Ravelry does, ramp up that algorithm and allow more people to see it. The same thing is true of Etsy. So if you purchase the pattern through Etsy and you create your cowl and you're happy with it, by all means go in and leave a review. And you can leave a review with a picture on Etsy, and that would be absolutely fabulous. Again, letting other people know that the pattern worked out well for you. Those are some things that you can do. Even just going and looking at the shop is something that helps the algorithm and helps more people see those items, favoring items that you like in the shop, that sort of thing. All of those things you can do to help us designers without actually purchasing anything. Also, I am on Instagram, and I would love, love, love for you to tag your makes. If you've made one of the Nanton cowls, to hashtag it with hashtag Nanton cowl. I would love to have each of my designs have their own little page like that. All right, I've rambled enough. Let me show you some of the project bags that I have created. So both of these that are actually already up in the shop, they are bag sets. So starts out with my regular medium-sized drawstring bag. It has a very old school tattoo feeling to it. My label, of course, on the side. So it's got roses, very, as I said, old school tattoo. And then the bottom is these sparrows, which again, in the sort of that old school tattoo type world, that's a very common theme in the tattoos. And then the interior of the bag is again that sparrow pattern. It is fully lined and interfaced. As you can see, it stands up on its own very nicely. You can have it folded down with your yarn in there as you're working to make a nice little yarn bowl for yourself. I personally really love drawstrings because you never have a mishap with your yarn getting caught in your zipper. But speaking of zippers, along with the medium-sized project bag will come a notions pouch. The notions pouch has a zipper pull or a progress keeper attached to the zipper, and that is handmade as well. It has a zipper, and again, it is fully lined in the yellow that the project bag's handle is made out of. So a nice little accessory pouch, notions pouch to go with. That matches nicely in that old school tattoo style. The second bag set that I have is for lovers of the sugar skulls or the Day of the Dead. It has some gorgeous colors on there, nice and bright on that black background. Again, my label. The base of the bag, all of the bases on my medium project bags are box bottoms. And it's a red. The handle and the casing is in green, and then the interior of the bag is red. So nice and bright, even though it has the black background on the printed fabric. And again, fully lined, so it will stand up on its own, and it is my typical drawstring bag. And because it is a bag set, it comes with the notions pouch, again, with a zipper pull or a project or a progress keeper, handmade by yours truly. It is a zipper pouch, and the inside is the bright green color. So both of those bag sets are currently available in my Etsy shop, and those links are down below. Yeah, so those are the two newest additions to the Etsy shop, as well as the new cross-stitch pattern, which should be going up, as I said, sometime between now, and it is Wednesday the 22nd. So between now, Wednesday the 22nd, and Friday the 24th, it will be listed before, day end on Friday. So I thank everyone for sticking around this long, and it is time for us to get into the giveaway portion. So again, I'm just going to pause for 1 second, get myself organized, and I'll be right back. Okay, so at the end of every video, I do tend to do a little bit of a giveaway, and that is the spot that we're at. So before we get into this week's giveaways, let me remind you that the giveaways are by no means sponsored by anybody but me. They're not affiliated with anybody but myself. And If you would like to enter the giveaways, please make sure that you're 18 so that you can give me your address. Be subscribed to the channel. That would be great. Yeah, that's about it. Those are the two big rules for entering the giveaways. So before we get into today's giveaways, let me make some announcements from last week. So last week I had a couple of things up for grabs. I had some soft-handled crochet hooks. There is a size 4 and a size 5 millimeter crochet hook in there. We had 11 people enter into this draw, and the winner of the crochet hooks is Karen Rubenstein. Karen Rubenstein. Karen, if you're watching, please make sure that you send me an email. Again, my email address is linked below with your mailing address so I can get this in the mail for you. It's really important that you do that. I will not be chasing people down for these because there's too many of them. I really need you to contact me via email and give me your mailing address, and that's how I will be able to ship this off to you. So congratulations, Karen Rubenstein. You have won the crochet hooks. And the second giveaway, the cross-stitch portion of the giveaway from last week, we had 12 people enter to win this one. And again, thank you so much to all of you who are not necessarily cross-stitchers, who are, you know, very interested in giving this genre of crafting a go, or for those of you who are returning to the craft after some time away. It's so nice to see you. So this is a little kit, a little needlebook kit. It comes with the butterfly charm and everything you need to make this little needlebook that you see here. The winner of this chart, this kit, is Back in the Day Crochet Alice. Thank you very much for entering and watching. Congratulations, you are the winner. Please, please send me your mailing address so I can get that out in the post to you. Congratulations. All right, so on to today's giveaways. And I have two giveaways today, both in the form of little kits. We will start out with crochet, because that's how I keep things organized. So from a crochet perspective, I have this little kit. This little kit says that it is crochet cards. It's an all-in-one kit. It contains envelopes, cards, stickers, and all the yarn needed to make 2 cards. It will also come with the instructions. So the instructions will be included in this as well. So if you would be interested in winning this cute little crochet kit, with everything you need other than hooks to create these cute little greeting cards with crochet motifs on them, please in your comments below write crochet cards. Crochet cards is the key words that I will be searching in order to draw for next week's winners. And from a cross-stitch perspective, we have another little kit. So this is called the Butterfly Hoop Kit. It comes with a purple embroidery hoop, the chart, 24 lengths of thread, 14 count Aida, and a needle. So everything you need to make this little project here. I can show you the back because the chart is covered. Well, now it is. So there is the hoop and the floss. And I think that is a cute little kit. Let me see, it does say that it comes with a needle. I don't see it, so perhaps it's in behind. I hope so. Yeah, it says it comes with a needle. So if you would like to win this little kit, and it is from the magazine Cross Stitch Crazy, then please in your comments write butterfly. include the word butterfly, and I will make sure that you are entered for next week's drawing for the butterfly hoop kit. Once again, please, please, please do not mention the word giveaway in your comments. If you do, I will have to delete your comment. I am trying really hard to make sure that these giveaways are going to people who are actually watching my videos. And that's partly the reason why I'm asking you to contact me if you've won, because again, you're watching the videos. So do not mention the word giveaway in the comment. Use the keywords down below, and I will make those draws next week. Again, if you are at all interested, please go check out the Etsy shop. Project bags, crochet patterns, soon to be cross stitch patterns. Things are getting very, very exciting. Alrighty, that is all I have for you today. I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you for coming and spending some of your crafty time with me. And until next week, take care of yourself, be kind to each other, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye now.